Alright guys, we got another one of my favorites. The old L-head Briggs, but it says Craftsman 6.5 horsepower. And the owner said it just quit right in the middle of cutting the lawn. So that is quite rare actually. And it almost points towards either running out of gas, which it didn't, it's got lots of gas, or an electrical issue. Don't know yet. Could have sucked in a chunk of crud too, right? Because it was the first cutting of the year. So before we start on it, I am going to take it out onto the apron and just blow all the crap off it. And I'll bring it back in and we'll have a closer look. Okay, be back in a bit. Okay, now we can have a little closer look at it. Stand back and see. You can obviously tell that it's been around the block a few times because the back wheels are splayed out, which means the person does a lot of this. They push it down and turn, which is fine. It's still serviceable like that, but we might be able to find some wheels in my wheel collection. And so the next thing I'm going to do is just squirt some oil into the intake manifold, or oh, I wished I could talk. Imagine that, yeah. The guy has a YouTube channel and he can't talk. Or he talks too much. Well, maybe I talk too much, maybe I don't talk too much. I'll talk to myself about that for a while. Alright, so we're going to take some primer fuel, which is mostly two-stroke, right? We're going to squirt it into the intake, although when I push the button, I can see gas coming out of the emulsion tube. You can see it's getting wet there. But we'll squirt this in anyway. That'll be enough. We'll see if it fires. Okay. So that tells me that it has no spark. So I'll just leave you there. I thought about this a little bit, eh? And we're going to set the spark indicator up. Now, these are by no means 100% accurate, right? But they are what they call an indicator. So right there we're looking for a spark. And I'll check the video afterwards. We'll zoom in on that bad boy. Sorry about that. Now we'll check and see if we have a spark. I might even close the big door. Well, we might be alright. Let's just do it. Good boy. Well, isn't that interesting? I'll be right back. What I've done is I've set it up with a wire extension on here to see if I get a spark, because I have to see it. And it's really, really weak. Like it's just barely lighting. And I've had these, I just have a suspicion, I'm not sure guys, because it did fire on me once when I was playing around with it. I am going to see if I can replace this and we'll see if it just fires up. I just have that suspicion. I have not taken it this far yet. Excuse me, my knees are shot. But I have a couple of these in my shed. There we go. Like I've said before, they're just an indicator, right? It'll probably fire right up. I just might change that spark plug. Now I always have one of these on the bench. This is a good old J19LM. Let's just check that. We might have a bad spark plug. Doesn't happen very often. You still watching? Hey, so I'm looking for a lighter flicker on that. Oh yeah, that should actually start. That right in induction. Now let's try it with that elbow in there. Oh, wouldn't that be something? It's not very often a spark plug goes bad. Now there's people out there that tell you differently. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Lay that off to the side so I can see it. And it should do exactly the same thing. It should start. Right, it should start. I think it needs a tune-up. So now it should start even better without the spark indicator there. Spark plug. Good. Well, I don't know if that's 100% it or not, because it was intermittent, right? We will carry on with our repair. Get it up on this cart, although that plug is looking pretty scary. So I'm gonna just regroup and we'll meet you back at the bench. All right, I've got the back end lifted up just with a piece of wood. You gotta have pieces of wood in the shop, right? And this wheel is just worn out. So I'm going to go see if I got one. Be back in a bit. All right, I found something that's so close. It almost is identical. These ones are kind of a white and these ones are gray. This one has a bit of a mark. But we'll do it. I already tried the axle fit. There's a lot less play in it. That's a lot better. We'll do the other one. Excuse me for that. squirt of oil on the shaft. It's a lot better. Still a little sloppy. Oh well, better than you were. Next problem, let's get the oil changed before it gets cold. You still recording? Thanks, Dave Ackerman. Okay, this is the blade that came off there, and it is so bad I am going to do it with a hand grinder. It would take too long and be too hard on my bench grinders. So I'm just going to zing it on that same angle with an angle grinder, and I'm going to use, I have 4. I'm going to use the one with the hard stone first, and then maybe a flap wheel, which is this one second. Alright, I just drained out the oil. Looks like 500 mils, and I just put in 500 mils of clean oil. While you weren't looking, that happens sometimes. Just going to check the oil, and it should be just above the add mark. It's hard to tell when it's clean. Yeah. I don't know if you can tell that or not. So we'll let that settle out. And I'm going to, well, I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to use, no, I gotta. You got good tools, use them. Okay, we can put the air cleaner back in now. And I'm going to blow that off too. I'm getting tired. It's a sign when you stop. Hey, I'm just going to have a quick look at the gas now that we're up on the bench. My knees are getting tired. Actually, it doesn't look bad. Okay, I'm going to oil everything up and we're going to see how it goes. I'm just going to lube the wheels and cables and we'll see if it runs. Alright, what I'm doing is I actually took this piece of tin or piece of plastic guard out from underneath here, and I put a half inch on the inside, and I tightened this 3/4 inch wrench on the, or nut on the outside to tighten up the slack in this axle. It wasn't just the slack on the pin, it was the whole thing was loose. So I might even be able to get away with putting the old wheels back on. Just because they match, eh? Although there is a ridge of wear there. You see that? You'll never get rid of that. So that's what's happening. I'll just show you how I got that off by putting it back on. So, good. There's only 3 of these little guys right here. 1. There it is. And I'm not going to use an air tool on that. We're on the other side, same thing. These are the things that you just would never pay somebody $100 an hour to do on an $80 lawnmower. That's why it's a hobby. It's old school. Okay, that should help a lot. Now I'm going to try the old wheels back on there. And a touch of oil back on the shaft. Now that shaft is worn, so you'll never ever stop that from happening, right? Because the whole thing was just wobbling, right? Wobbling. Wobbling, as Elmer Fudd would say. Oop. Those are still pretty loose. So do we put those same wheels back on? I think we will. Yep. Do I have a hard time making decisions? Well, yes and no. I always tighten up this bracket that holds the bar. For some reason they're always loose. I never get it. Must be when they're first assembled, eh? Arr. That's what my dad does. Yeah. I think she's almost done. I'm gonna just wipe it down a bit more. Alright, let's give it a go. I might have to turn up the RPMs on this one. So let's just get it down. Let's get down. And yes, I need my clip. It broke. Actually going to take a reading on that tack. The tack I have is so old that you have to put a little piece of silver tape on there, and every time I do it I swear I'm going to get another one. Be right back. $32.60. That's pretty good. It's an older mower, right? Okay, I did my best on the back splaying of those axles. I actually took the wheels off and tightened the axle brackets, and then I did bend the ends of the axles down, which is never a permanent deal, but now at least they're a little better than they used to be. Alright guys, this is the next day. I always do the day after start, right? I'll also get this in up a little bit. There. Step over you. Oh, yeah.